Hey there, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we are going to look at the best and worst of this week's episode of WWE SmackDown. We are also going to look at the following WWE news and rumors. John Cena sends a rude message to Drew McIntyre and a major Money in the Bank match leaked, and more. Be sure to stick around till the end for all the exclusive news and rumors. Before we get into it, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe for daily wrestling content. WWE SmackDown was a pretty good show from top to bottom, even though Roman Reigns wasn't around this week. Nothing during the show dragged on, most things had a sense of purpose, and even though some of the matches felt like we'd seen them before, they delivered. Of course, you could have a completely different viewpoint when it comes to WWE SmackDown, and hence, we invite you to weigh in the comments. Feel free to praise any aspect of the show, even if it goes against our assessment, and or just rant away in the space below. Number 3, Best and Worst. WWE SmackDown star headed for a face turn. The whole bad luck arc that WWE SmackDown star Baron Corbin's life seems to have taken is the most interesting thing to have happened to him in quite some time. In fact, the segment with Rick Boogs backstage, where he cracked one bad pun after another, seemed to paint Corbin in a very different light. In this scenario, Boogs came across as the heel and Corbin, the babyface. Anyone who watches The Walking Dead can draw parallels between King Corbin and King Ezekiel as two kings who lost their crowns, who had it all only to lose it all. This is great storytelling. The question, of course, is whether people will offer sympathy to WWE SmackDown star Corbin. He played a heel with so much conviction for so very long that the audience may not entirely buy this storyline at all. We have to wait and see what happens. Number 2, Best. Otis finds his footing as a vicious monster heel. Otis used to be WWE SmackDown's lovable, goofy babyface with heavy machinery. Those days are long behind him, but thankfully, the company seems invested in a new persona. What happened this week was absolutely awesome, obviously. The Lars Sullivan experiment on WWE SmackDown did not work out for reasons beyond the company's control. Maybe Otis can take up this position, and considering how he worked this week, excel in this particular role. He absolutely killed it. Number 2, Worst. Zelina Vega returns to WWE SmackDown and loses her match. It's baffling why Sonya Deville isn't giving a slot to WWE SmackDown superstar Liv Morgan, because nothing has been explained in this regard. Let's hope that justification will be provided in the coming weeks, and it will be satisfying for the fans. Of course, it's great to see Zelina Vega return, however, does it make sense to bring her back only to lose? Yes, Morgan needed to win to secure her spot, but this match could have certainly happened a week after Zelina Vega's WWE return. Number 1, Best. Two WWE SmackDown stars go to war, man. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn tore the house down on WWE SmackDown. Did they not? Even though it's probably the millionth time we've seen them go at it, they are just incapable of having a bad match. Kevin Owens went into beast mode at the end, bringing back the aggression we haven't seen for a while. Number 1, Worst. Michael Cole. Pat McAfee brings an intensity to the WWE SmackDown broadcast that is absolutely incredible. Unfortunately, he is let down by Michael Cole, who refuses to step out of his comfort zone, calling the action in a monotonous, robotic fashion. One of the reasons why shows like WWE SmackDown and Raw at times feel dull is because of the dullness of the commentary. Jim Ross, despite his many botches, infuses a degree of passion into the action that adds a certain flavor to the proceedings. Let's hope Michael Cole can match McAfee's intensity someday. WWE Money in the Bank 2021 is set to take place later this month on July 18, 2021. It will be WWE's first pay-per-view on their return to touring, and will take place in front of live fans at Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, Texas. WWE has already announced multiple massive matches for the show. According to Cage Side Seats, WWE is expected to add 2 more title matches to WWE Money in the Bank 2021. The expectation is there will be a Raw Tag Team title match added to Money in the Bank, and a Women's Tag title match may also be scheduled for the show. One of these will be for the Raw Tag Team Championship currently held by AJ Styles and Omos, while the other for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship currently held by Natalya and Tamina. The names of the challengers have not yet been revealed. 2 Money in the Bank matches will take place at the namesake pay-per-view later this month, one for men and the other for women. WWE has already had multiple qualification matches over the last few weeks on both Raw and SmackDown, As of the making of this video, Ricochet, John Morrison, Riddle, Drew McIntyre, Big E and Kevin Owens have already qualified for the men's Money in the Bank match. Next week, Cesaro will take on Seth Rollins and King Nakamura will go one-on-one against Baron Corbin to determine the final two competitors. As for the women's Money in the Bank match, Alexa Bliss, Naomi, Asuka, Nikki Cross, Carmella, and Zelina Vega have already qualified for it. That leaves 2 spots open, and judging from recent events on SmackDown, one of them could go to Liv Morgan. Comment down and let us know which WWE superstars you are rooting for to win their respective Money in the Bank matches this year. John Cena believes Drew McIntyre is setting himself up for disappointment by publicly revealing that he wants to face him in a WWE match. McIntyre recently said in several media interviews that he would like to go one-on-one with Cena when the 16-time world champion returns to the ring. The comments prompted Cena to post a picture of the Scottish star on his Instagram page. Speaking in an interview with On Demand Entertainment, Cena reminded McIntyre that neither of them have the power to book WWE matches. "Well, I always appreciate being involved in a conversation of saying that things are important because that means people haven't forgotten what you've put forth as an effort," Cena said. "But man, what a way to set yourself up for disappointment. In no way, shape or form is Drew in a position to make matches or make things happen. And I'm not either. Neither of us have that power. That's beyond our capacity." Drew McIntyre and John Cena have previously faced each other in multi-man matches in WWE. However, their paths have never crossed in a one-on-one match. As WWE's marquee attraction for over a decade, John Cena is widely considered the most successful superstar of his generation. The 44-year-old thinks Drew McIntyre should focus on doing his job instead of requesting matches against specific opponents. "I certainly am grateful for being mentioned, which is awesome," Cena added. "But I've never approached anything like, I'd like to work with this person. I want to have a match with this person, because I don't make those choices. They, WWE, say, hey, I'd like you to do this, alright, it's time to go to work. And that's really allowed me to enjoy every step of the way. I think if we build expectations in our head, like I hate to say this to Drew, but if that never happens, how is he supposed to feel about that?" Drew McIntyre will compete in the 8-man Money in the Bank ladder match on July 18th. Meanwhile, John Cena is reportedly due to return to WWE soon to face Roman Reigns at SummerSlam on August 21st.